So lads, today we're going to be making another video about Paige Bueckers, and we're going to be talking about something from The Atlantic right here. And this is honestly, this is a really interesting topic to talk about. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to give my opinion there. But if you guys did not hear, The Atlantic had a podcast, and they basically talked about how they don't think it's a guarantee that Paige Bueckers comes out in the 2025 WNBA draft. I think there's a 90% chance Paige Bueckers comes out. If you're asking me for my opinion, I think it's about 90%. But let's take a listen right here.
Big, bold predictions around moves in women's basketball.
Paige Bueckers will not declare for the WNBA draft this year.
That's interesting.
Well, first of all, she'd be locking herself into a rookie contract that is presumably worth far less than it would be were she to be drafted in 2026. So
the reality of that situation is she's probably going to make $30,000 extra a year on average. Paige Bueckers is a multi-millionaire. I'm sorry, like $30,000 extra a year. Like, I get it, it's a lot of money to a normal person. It's not a lot of money to Paige Bueckers. We can be honest here. Like, it's not a lot of money to her. Paige Bueckers probably makes I would say she makes probably $500,000 minimum, and that's being as conservative as possible in brand deals at Uconn. It's probably $1 to $2 million. Being as conservative as possible, we can say $500,000, but it's probably closer to $1 to $2 million. That is the reality of the situation. It is probably closer to 1 to 2, and that might even still be conservative. 30 grand is not going to change anything for her.
Just financially, it doesn't make a ton of sense to play in the WNBA as a rookie in 2025 versus 2026. Also, there's been a lot of buzz around whether Paige actually wants to go to Dallas, given the instability with that organization and political climate in Texas too. You know, that factors into things like women's health rights there. And then
the WNBA season's 4 months a year. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not sure. It doesn't, even for Paige Bueckers, I'm not sure political climate for 4 months in a year is going to decide whether or not someone does or doesn't go and play in a place.
I don't think Uconn is going to win a national title this year. So I kind of feel like maybe one more year of Paige and AZ running the band back, and that's their time. If she were to declare this year, she would...
I'm just saying, if they don't win this year, how the hell are they meant to win next year? Like, who's going to be... Like, South Carolina have just lost Ashlyn Watkins. You do realize that UCLA get better next year, don't you? I'd say it's unlikely at this stage Janiah Barker goes for the draft. So UCLA come back next year with the exact same team, except they have Lauren Betts' little sister, the number 3 recruit in the nation, coming back, who are better than them. South Carolina have, I think, the number 2 recruit coming in, and South Carolina lose Pow Pow and potentially Raven Johnson, but Ashlyn Watkins will be back again next year. And then who else is going to be there next year? LSU, I don't think will have a shot next year. Notre Dame, they lose Olivia Miles and Citron, so I don't think they'll be as good next year, and probably Maddie Westbell too. So they're going to be quite poor next year. But there's going to be teams. It's not even a formality, Paige and AZ Fudd next year winning for Uconn. Just because Uconn have 3 of the last 5 number 1 recruits on their team doesn't mean it's a guarantee to win.
Lock into a 4-year rookie contract that averages somewhere around $85,000 per year, whereas the expectation is that salaries will jump significantly with the new collective bargaining agreement. So she would have the opportunity to make a lot more money on her rookie contract if she waits in college for.
Do people not realize that, yeah, for players like Paige Bueckers, they might make $30,000 extra a year, but also their rookie deals become significantly more flexible for bringing in another superstar. Like, these are players that make $100,000 that might make $5 million in endorsements and $100,000 in salary. So what difference does it make if you and if you win a championship, your endorsement money goes up? So let's just say hypothetically, she could make $130,000 in salary, but if she goes and wins nothing, those endorsements might go to $3 million after a year or two. And if she goes and wins everything, the endorsements go up even further. Heck, she's a freaking signature shoe with Nike. I'm sorry, like, what relevance is an extra $30,000 a year? Paige is not a serious baller if she goes back for her 5th year. I don't think Paige goes back for her 5th year. Are we seriously having this conversation? Y'all hear how dumb that sounds. She's not saying another year. They're already pro athletes making money at plenty of Endeavor's endorsements. Like, for to even be having the same boring conversation, spreading misinformation. I don't think it's spreading misinformation. There is one situation that Paige Bueckers goes back to college. It's not money. money is absolutely irrelevant. Sorry, there are two situations she goes back to college. One, if she really doesn't want to play in Dallas, but she has to have the opinion of anywhere but Dallas, because there is a non-zero chance that she ends up in Atlanta or something next year. There's no guarantee she goes to the Sparks. The Sparks don't even have a pick next year. If she wants to go to LA, they don't even have a pick. If she really doesn't want to go to Dallas, do an Eli Manning. Do an Eli Manning. Literally threaten to go back. Like, you don't have to. You can not make a decision right before the draft, and you can literally tell Dallas, if you draft me, or it's like, if you are not going to give me clearance that you're not going to draft me, I am not going to go for the draft. And if they draft her anyway, heck, if you're Dallas, for me, I'm just going whatever team wants her. You Valkyries, you want her. Okay, cool. Give us 5. Give us your 2026 first round pick. Give us your 2027 first round pick. And give us pick number 5 for Paige Bueckers. If Golden State, if you really want her, that's what you're giving us. You're giving us the 5th pick, and you're giving us 3 more picks. LA, you want her, you're giving us the 2nd pick, and you're giving us your 2027 pick. And I don't know. Heck, LA, if you want her, give us Cam Brink. Give us Rakia Jackson and 2. Like, something ridiculous like that if you're Dallas. Or we need a power forward, give us De'Arica Hamby and 2. Like, that's something that Dallas will have to do. And if she doesn't want to play in Dallas, they'll be able to trade. Like, because there's no way I don't think she drops from number 2, or else drops from number 1 if not for injury. Even though, in my opinion, I think Olivia Miles... Jesus Christ, I clicked on the wrong thing there, sorry. I think Olivia Miles should be the number 1 pick in the draft. But the reality of the situation is that there is a near 0% chance that she goes back to college. And again, the only chance is that if she just wants to win a college championship. If that's what her goal is. If she cares more about winning a college championship than anything else, and she's like, I want to give every single year possible. Look, I'm making no less money here than I would in the WNBA. I've already got my master's. Heck, I just need to keep my grades up for a part of the year. I'm going to do the easiest college course possible to just get passed through. I'm going to manage to give it one more go. The only chance of that happening is if winning a college championship is the most important thing in her basketball career. And to be fair, to some people it is. To some people, like, it is more important what they do in college than anything else. Winning a college championship is more important than anything else. And if that is the case, I can see Paige going back for year 6, because I don't think they're winning this year. That is the only reason. Any other reason, any other reason is dumb. Money is a dumb reason. I think if she doesn't want to play in Dallas, Dallas will just trade the number 1 pick for a whole bunch of stuff. They will get their future for that number 1 pick. So I don't think it's going to be much of an issue there. The only reason Paige will go back is if it is more important for her to be a NCAA champion than it is for anything else. Because if she goes back in 2026, it's highly unlikely she's the number 1 pick. If that means more than anything else is winning an NCAA championship, she could go back. Any other reason, she's going to the WNBA. So I would go 95-5. Maybe even as high as 99-1 as she comes out. Unless, and I think if she was of the opinion of the biggest, most important thing in her career is the NCAA championship, we would already know that, and it would already be almost a guarantee that she comes back if they don't win it all. But anyway, I'll see you guys.